Today I am going to start some topics of the class 10, the biology. The chapter name is the environment and the chapter number is 15, our environment. So we in the previous class we have read about the different the topics and terms related to the environment. What happens when we add waste to our environment, and after that we have discussed about the what are the components of the environment. There are two components of environment. The first the biotic component, second the abiotic component. Now today we have to discuss the food chain and the food web and the trophic level. As we know that in the environment there are the successive the transfer of the food from the one animals to another animals. So for their survival, here is the food chain. So first of all, in environment we will discuss about that when a particular living organism they live into their ecosystem, natural ecosystem, they all needs the food. Whether plants or the animals, they also need the food. But difference is that the plants are the producer, they make their food in the presence of the sunlight, and when the foods are made, these food are the plants make their food and these food are transferred to the another living organism. They like the food as a source of energy. Source of energy it is. This source of energy, the plant make, that is called the producer. And after the producer, the food is taken by the herbivores. And after the herbivores, these foods are taken by the carnivores. And the carnivores, they take the energy from the herbivores. So when the carnivores, the herbivores is the deer, we can write the deer, and after that carnivores, that is called the lion. And when the lion, they die, after that decomposer like bacteria and the viruses, these all microorganisms, we can directly write the microorganisms. They decompose the dead matter of the plants and animals. So what we see that from the plant, the energy is transferred in the form of food to the herbivores to the carnivores, and carnivores to the decomposer. What we see that here we see that food transfer in a linear way from one producer to the herbivores after the carnivores. This is called the food chain. So when there is only one linear way or path to transfer the food in the form of energy from one living organism to another living organism. So we can also say that if we change it to the grassland ecosystem, then we can say that here the food we can write the plants, very small plants, they are the producer, and after that here now I can change the grasshopper. They take the food from the plants, and after the grasshopper, these food are taken, grasshopper is taken by the frog. We can write here the frog. And when the frog, their numbers increase, these food are taken by the snakes. We can write the snake too, a snake. So when the snake die, then decomposer microorganisms decompose them and they take their nutrition. So what we see that, so these are the linear, the transfer of the food from the one level to another level. And another, if we write the pond ecosystem, here if I write the pond, in the pond there are the little plants, algae. These are taken by the small fishes and these are taken by the big fish and After when they die, again the decomposer decompose that. Here what we see, there is a linear transfer of the food from the one level to another level. So we can say also that the food web. Now we have to talk about the food web. So when we talk about that, the plant make the food, then what happens, these plant products are being taken by the herbivores. Yeah, we can say the grasshopper, and we can also change here the goat, we can write, yeah, rabbit we can write, rabbit. If the rabbit is the and the goat is the herbivores, in case of the food chain where we have written the carnivores, that is the lion, if the lion do not have the deer, they can also eat the rabbit. They can also eat the rabbit. So what we see that in case if there is no chance of the deer, then the rabbit can be also taken. And if we write that in the plant producer, there are the some snakes, and these are eaten by the peacock. If peacock do not have the snakes to eat, they can also eat the rabbit and the small animals. So what we see that when the different food chains, they are interlinked to each other and they obtain their food, so these are called the food web. So network of the different food chain, so these are called the food web. In the food web there is no linear arrangement of transfer of the food. So these are the two aspects we have discussed, the food chain and the food web. Now trophic level. So in an ecosystem, when we make a pyramid of the food, so first will be the plant, and after that second is the consumer, and after that decomposer. So what we see, that transfer of the food from the one level of ecosystem to another ecosystem, these are known as your trophic level. And in trophic level is the only sequential changes of the food from the one living organism to the another living organism. Now another topic is that how do our activities affect the environment. As we know that when we use the different resources, when we burn and emit the carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, we pollute the air, we put the non-biodegradable and biodegradable substance to the atmosphere. They do not decomposed, and the burning of the different combustible material, cutting down of the forest, population increasement, these all release the different kinds of the pollutants into the environment. Ultimately global warming happens and ozone depletes, and we put the different pressure on the environment.